Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever you are. My name is Maze Udochukwu, and today's date is the 20th day of May 2022, and we are here to update you on some of the things that's happening. Remember, on the 30th of this month is Heroes Day, where we respect our fallen heroes, we remember them. But before we go ahead with today's program, we're going to listen to our national anthem. And when we finish listening to our national anthem, when we come back, we will just go straight on the issues of the day and why we are on air tonight. So if you are just joining us, share the program, share why we are listening to our national anthem, and when I come back, we're going to dive straight to why we are here tonight. Now let's listen to our national anthem. Alright, welcome back. Thank you for joining us on today's program. In case maybe you're just joining us, my name is Maze Udochukwu, and we are streaming live on Facebook and on our YouTube page. Oh, thank you everyone. Thank you Ekene Wanko. Thank you Collins Tochukwu. There, everybody. Please share the program. Let's have more people on. Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know where you're watching the program from. On the 18th of this month, just about a few days ago, all of us know that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in court. And that day that our leader was in court, something happened in that same Abuja. I don't know if some of you have seen a video that been going around concerning the fire outbreak in a particular market that they call Day Market in Abuja. I don't know if some of you have heard that news. It's a sad one. Eventually, it's a very sad news that our brothers and our sisters who usually owns businesses there in that particular market, I don't know what happened, lost so many properties, so many things that particular day. So but before we talk about what happened at Day, we're going to talk about the Heroes Day. Then we're going to talk how they amalgamated Nigeria, in other words, we call it the first marriage that have not been yielding fruit. So we're going to talk about all of those things. Remember, this month, May, every 30th of May, we remember our fallen heroes. We remember them for fighting for us. We remember them for all they have done for us in the past. So we usually use this month every 30th of May to remember our fallen heroes. So I'm going to play you a video, not really a video anywhere. I'm going to play you an audio. I want you to listen to that particular audio, and when I come back, I'm going to share another. I'm going to show you another video of what happened in that market that I called before that day, the market. And we're going to show you what really happened, how our brothers lost their businesses. Just give me some time. Let me get you that particular audio I want you to listen to. Then later I will drop a link if you would want to come on here to say maybe one or two things, and I will give you the opportunity to do that. But before we go ahead, I want you to listen to this. How they amalgamated Nigeria, how they forced us to become one, and whatnot. So that is what I want you to listen to now. Just give me some time. Let me just get you that particular voice note so you listen. While we're listening, I'm going to go ahead and get you the other video of what happened. I'll show you that video of that incident, that video of that outbreak, so you see the video yourself as well. Now let's listen to this. Just give me some time. Let me get it. Let me get the volume so you'll be able to hear what the man is talking about. Give me some time. My computer is kind of slow tonight. I don't know what happened. Just give me some time. I'm just getting you the audio so you listen.
I feel it is important to draw the attention of all Biafrans, and in fact the international community as well, to what the Biafrans are fighting for. That is the restoration of the Republic of Biafra. The series of injustice perpetrated against the people of Biafra was initiated by a mercenary soldier working on behalf of the British government. His name was Frederick Lugard. In the year 1914, Lugard, as colonial administrator and friend of the House of Fulani, using his connections with the British Colonial Office, committed the most outrageous fraud in human history by unilaterally declaring the amalgamation of northern and southern protectorates in our part of Africa and naming these territories Nigeria. This British mercenary did not consult the people before forcing them into an unholy union of his dreams. The name Nigeria was really a coinage from two words: Niger, that is the river Niger, and area, meaning the area of land around the river Niger. It does not require a rocket scientist or a wordsmith to forge this name. I understand that the name was in fact suggested by Lugard's wife. For Lugard to choose the name Nigeria for his contraption is clear evidence he was only interested in the land and its resources, not in the well-being of people of diverse cultures inhabiting the land. So, ab initio, the name Nigeria was only a geographical description without any cultural or historical content, and has remained so up till today. For even Lugard himself described the North and the South as oil and water that can never mix. About 30 years into Lugard's experiment, in 1945 to be exact, the first catastrophe struck. Biafrans were slaughtered in northern Nigeria by the Hausa Fulani as a clear expression of their resentment of the amalgamation. In 1953, the Northerners struck again. Once more, Biafrans were the victims. The Nigerian census of 1956 was rigged in favor of the Northerners by their British friends, who inflated the population figures for the North to the detriment of the South. The pre-independence federal elections were similarly rigged by the departing British colonial administrators to benefit the North against the South. It was not therefore surprising that a few years after independence, Nigeria descended into anarchy and chaos. This time again, Biafrans were the target, chased away from all over Nigeria as hundreds of thousands of them were murdered in northern Nigeria. In May, July, August, September, and October 1966, Biafrans were hounded and massacred all over northern Nigeria by the Hausa Fulani shouting Araba, Araba, meaning secession. The bruised and battered Biafrans returned to the safety of their homeland to nurse their wounds, abandoned by the federal government of the country to which they were supposed to belong. A national conference was held in Abuja, Ghana, under the chairmanship of General Ankara, the Ghanaian head of state. Far-reaching agreements aimed at keeping Nigeria together were concluded between General Yakubu Gowon, representing Nigeria, and General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu representing the people of Biafra. But in a most arrogant display of power, Nigeria unilaterally annulled those agreements. The Biafrans had no other choice but to declare their independence on May 30, 1967. Instead of allowing Biafrans to nurse their wounds in the peace of their homeland, Nigeria, propelled by sheer hatred and arrogance of power, declared a war of aggression against the beleaguered Biafrans. Nigeria wanted the land of Biafra without the people of Biafra, and conducted a 3-year genocidal war to achieve that purpose. At the end of it all, about 3.5 million Biafran men, women, and children were killed in their homeland. I have never read anywhere that people of different cultures and religions had been forced to unite by sheer military means. The American Civil War was a unique case. Prior to that war, all the states had voluntarily consented to join the Union after a gruesome war of independence against the British. But when the southern states refused to give up slavery and decided instead to secede from the Union, the northern states, led by Abraham Lincoln, took up arms against the South as a matter of principle. The North believed that since all men were created equal, it was unjust for people to own slaves as private property. The American Civil War was not in reality to unite the country, but a war in defense of human rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. In its genocidal enterprise, Nigeria obtained the ready military and diplomatic assistance of Britain, the former Soviet Union, Spain, the then Organization of African Unity led by the former Ethiopian head of state, Emperor Haile Selassie, the non-aligned nations led by President Tito of former Yugoslavia, and the United Nations organization led by Utant. The lie being bandied about by Britain and Nigeria was that if Biafra was allowed to secede from Nigeria, the whole of Africa would be afflicted by the disease of secession. Shamelessly, the so-called civilized world colluded with Nigeria in the massacre of millions of Biafran men, women, and children. The principle of human rights was thrown to the winds. Biafra was strangled by overwhelming military force, diplomatic fraud, and starvation. Even Christian charity organizations and the International Red Cross were dissuaded and frustrated by Britain and Nigeria from delivering urgently needed food materials and medicine, which would have saved lives. Whether we believe it or not, there is a great being who is in control of events on earth. Some refer to him as Karma. We call him God. Nigeria thought that once Biafra was defeated in battle, everything would be all right, and she would live happily ever after. There is no way you can spill the blood of 3.5 million people and expect that there will not be some retribution. We all know what is happening to Nigeria today. What of the greatest ally of Nigeria? War against Biafrans, Britain. One quiet afternoon early this year, 2 machete-wielding Nigerian extremists attacked a British soldier and killed him in broad daylight and bragged about it. That event was one of the greatest insults inflicted on a world power such as Britain. Right now, Scotland is in the process of seceding from Britain after about 400 years of marriage voluntarily entered into by England and Scotland. Yet, it was the same Britain that scared the world stiff about the impending balkanization of Africa should Biafra go its way, and led the chorus of the sanctity of the territorial integrity of Nigeria as the Biafran War of Independence raged on. I do not know what will happen to the territorial integrity of Britain when Scotland eventually secedes. The truth is that a territory can never be more important than the people who live in it. That is a basic principle of human rights. But the British government, under the leadership of Harold Wilson, did not believe that the Biafran people were entitled to the same human rights which British people enjoyed. That is why Harold Wilson is one of the least respected world leaders today. As leader of the Organization for African Unity, Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia campaigned against the existence of Biafra because he believed that if he was allowed to exist, the province of Eritrea, which was then part of Ethiopia, would secede. But in spite of Haile Selassie, Eritrea is now an independent nation. What about President Tito of Yugoslavia? As leader of the non-aligned nations, President Tito campaigned against Biafra because he feared that his country would break if Biafra were allowed to exist. Where is Yugoslavia today? In the dustbin of history. Out of the ashes of Yugoslavia emerged 4 or 5 countries in spite of President Tito. Now, the former Soviet Union supplied Nigeria with all the MiG fighter planes with which it terrorized, killed, and maimed Biafran men, women, and children in their homes, in marketplaces, in schools, in churches, in hospitals, and in refugee camps. Where is the great Soviet Union today? in the dustbin of history. From the ashes of the former Soviet Union emerged 15 independent countries, including Russia. What of Egypt? While it was not clear whether the Egyptian government cooperated with Nigeria during its war against Biafra, it was common knowledge that Egyptian pilots were responsible for the indiscriminate bombing and strafing of civilian targets that accounted for the loss of thousands of lives. They were probably mercenaries who did not want to risk their lives and therefore avoided raiding the war fronts. Since they must discharge their bombs and kill some people, they frequently went for soft targets, such as markets, schools, and hospitals. After all, they knew they were engaged in a war of extermination anywhere, and the civilized world was behind it. See what is happening in Egypt today. Not so good. By contrast, the 5 countries that recognized Biafra, namely Tanzania, Zambia, Gabon, Ivory Coast, and Haiti, have enjoyed peace and stability till today. Their heads of state at the time of the Biafran saga, namely Dr. Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Mr. Omar Bongo, Mr. Ufe Boigny, and Papa Doc, Francois Duvalier, were some of the most respected statesmen in the world. Tanzania has not disintegrated, even though it is a union between mainland Tanganyika and the island of Zanzibar off the coast of East Africa. A union voluntarily agreed by the two entities without a land border, but with strong cultural and historical ties. Where was the United Nations Organization on the blight that was Biafra? Missing in action. The world body never for once had testimony from the Biafran people. It listened only to Nigeria because Britain, as a permanent member of the Security Council, thwarted all effort by Biafra to present her case to the world, and by implication deceived the United States on the issue of Biafra. It is now time for Nigeria to pay its debt to history. It is the wish of everybody concerned that Nigeria should disappear peacefully, letting the component parts go their ways after 100 years of an unholy marriage that has refused to work. Or Nigeria may choose to die a violent death. This would make no sense, since too many lives have already been lost, and the land is soaked in blood. Since all things made by mortal man must perish, so shall Nigeria, made by Frederick Lugard and his wife, cease to exist. And from its ashes, the Republic rebels. The case of India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh is one worthy of emulation. So also are the cases of former Czechoslovakia, former Yugoslavia, Ethiopia and Eritrea, as well as Sudan and Southern Sudan. Thomas Jefferson, writing the American Declaration of Independence, said, and I quote, "When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This idea goes back to Athens of the 5th century BC, when Socrates spoke of a law of God respected by all, barbarian and Greek alike, or in the Antigone of Sophocles from the 5th century BC, when Antigone appealed to the law of God that is the same for all over the world, and just might break the laws of men. Cicero defined natural law in his works of moral values as the law of God revealed in the reason of his universe. It is one law, valid in all places and in all times. It will be the same in Athens and in Rome and in every future nation to come. For that law rests with God. And there are consequences for breaking the law of God. I hope the United Nations will be alive to its responsibility this time around, and that the international community will stop playing games with African lives. The loss of 3.5 million Biafran lives can never be in vain. That would run counter to the principles of natural justice, laws of nature and of nature's God. The people of Biafra have waited all these years for reason and common sense to prevail, for justice to be done, so that old and current wounds can start to heal, and the spirits of 3.5 million Biafran men, women, and children can start to rest in peace. It is time for the restoration of the Republic of Biafra. God bless people of goodwill around the world, and God bless Biafra. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you for staying tuned, and thank you for listening to that wonderful presentation by that young gentleman. Now, having listened to all this man said in that audio, I want to play you a video for you to understand all that the man said in that audio recording. And some of the issues that this man raised here is what is happening up until now. Actually, why I played you this record before I want to play you the videos, the incident, the clash that happened on the 18th of this month, the same day that our leader Mazen Andikad was in court, was the same day that the Hausa motorist burned down Dede Market. Dede Market is a popular commercial marketplace in Abuja where Biafrans, where our people, where they do their businesses, where they sell their goods and whatnot. It's a popular market there in Abuja. Everybody is well known. Now I'm going to show you a video for some of you that have not seen what happened there in Abuja on the 18th of this month. I'm going to show you a video. So I just play you this audio. So when I'm playing you that video of what happened, you will understand that some of you that is clamoring for one Nigeria, it can never work. This man, the audio that you just finished listening now, the man narrated everything. If you pay close attention, if you listen carefully, you will hear all that the man said in that particular audio. Now I'm going to play you a video. Just give me some time. Let me get it for you. I will show you a video of what happened in this market. Billions of goods were burnt down that same 18th of this month, the day we were in court paying solidarity to our leader Mazen Andikad. Why another thing is happening at that Dede Market where they burn our people's markets, their goods were burnt down. I'm going to show you a video. Just give me some time. There are a lot of them, and I believe probably most of you might have seen that video, but I am going to show you that video. Now if you listen to some of the things that this man, this young man that made that presentation in that audio, if you listen to some of the things that he said even when the British, when they first present, when they give the Nigerian people, when they give them handover and they did the election, that was rigging. So rigging has been ongoing time immemorial. And for some of you that is still claiming that they should give you Igbo presidency and whatnot, they should do this, it can never work. The rigging must be there. It's been there already, time immemorial. So nothing will change. The so-called British who handle power over to you people introduce corruption to the system, so the corruption can never go away. It's there, even time being. Just give me some time. I'm trying to get you that video, so I will show you the video of what happened at Dede market, where they burned down the businesses of Igbo men and women that are doing business there in the market. Just give me some time. I'm getting you the video. This is crazy. I saw the video, I was crying. I'm going to show you. Just give me some time. Let me get you the video on the screen, so you understand what we're talking about. Alright, I think I have the video on there. Just give me some time. Let me make it a big screen so you see what we are talking about. Let me put a volume, then I will take it backwards. It played from beginning. You'll be able to understand all that happened. Now listen.
As you can see everywhere. This is a timber shed. They have already has gone as a timber shed. This is the express now. We are on now. We are out to deal with those less human beings.
It's happening live in the timber. Oh, man, I see fire. After people don't finish Igbo for a year. Man, I see fire. Oh, man, I see fire. See how Igbo goods they spoil, they destroy. Man, I see on my bag. Man, I see him. Man, I see him. We need Biafra. Man, I see him. We need Biafra. We need Biafra. We need Biafra. Man, I see him. We need them. 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 We need Biafra. I beg. Man, I see us. Man, I see us. I beg. I beg. Man, I see us. Man, I see us. Man, I see.
Ụmụ Chineke ekele dịrị onye ọbụla chọrọ udo. Ihe a na-egosi na-abụ Dede new site, one of the international market enwere na Abuja here na north. This morning I nwere a little bit problem here concerning the houses and the Ndebai. So ọ na-eme ndị Hausa buru Ndebai, ihe a mụtaziri na abụ buru Ndebai buru onye ha atọ ya onye ahụ n'ime ọhịa nyere ọkada ha jewara. So this morning he megokwa the thing na buru one woman na pụta atọ the woman n'ime ọhịa, the woman da nwụọ immediately. So the men na protest now were go ọkada ha nwee ọkụ. E watch ya very far away, o nwere ebe ya fa nwụrụ na arị elu na ihe abụọ ebe ọkada ha na-enwe ọkụ. So as you can see now, ndị Igbo are related, has like your back. Everybody put here out to deal with with those idiots. As you can see now, here in Abuja did the new site, one of the international market, the biggest market here in north. So as you can see, front and back, men, everybody put inside the market. You work in the Karobi. On your the market now to respond to those foolish people. So I know here now monitor here life. So as you can see, everybody now now in Europe. Let's check and do Gubia because they went back now to reshuffle themselves now. And which you can see now more people are out again to show them the get that inside. Get inside. Nonsense. So as you can see now. So you will boys now. Do way to go get your man. You have to deal with them today. So as you can see, everybody now life now, everybody now out now. Yeah, bring him life now. They new site. international market, one of the biggest market in the whole north. As you can see, men are not here. We are more than 1 million. As you can see, here far away. Have more than one. I meant that at it.
So you understand, this happened on the 18th of this month, the same day that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in court, and this incident happened. It is sad that we are seeing something like this. Now I'll play you this video for you to understand some of the things that that man said in that audio recording. I don't know when some of you joined the program. If you've listened very well, you will understand this can never work. Water and oil can never stay together. It's impossible. And wherever Lord Lugard is today, he will be seeing the problem that he caused in Africa. This thing happened just as you heard it from the man who just narrated it on that video. The man said when these motorbike guys, the motorists, when they carry their people, they will throw them in the bush. And what happened that day was they carried one of the women who is doing business there. One of the motorists carried one of the lady and threw her in the bush, and she died. And all the whole Igbo people that is doing business there now came out and said enough is enough for this nonsense that been going on all this while. And they hold one of the motorists, they hold one of their bike and set it ablaze. And the motorists themselves, they now went to the backyard of that marketplace and set the market and the goose in it ablaze. They set it on fire. And these our brothers lost their businesses. Everywhere was burnt down. And why all these things were happening, there were no police present. There were no even soldier, nobody. They set properties ablaze, people lost their businesses, and a lot of things happened that day. This is not the first, this is not the second. You saw what happened in Kano recently, that BBC turned the news upside down. This is ongoing and it's happening. When you go to Lagos, it's the same thing. Where our people are doing their businesses, they would like to do one thing or the other. But we still have the same Hausa people doing businesses in the east, in Biafra land particular. They own businesses. There's a place where they call Amausa in Owerri. When you go there, is literally all Hausa people there. They own businesses. How many times have you heard that they burn their place of businesses? They burn their goods and you know what they are doing. You don't hear such news. But when it comes to our own people, they come at us at any time and they will get away with it. This has been happening because of some of you that is shouting "One Nigeria." And it will keep happening. It will keep happening until some of you now decide that one Nigeria can never work for you. Now, when you check that video that I just shared now, you will see that a lot of people lost their businesses. There's a gentleman there that they set his vehicle ablaze. So many things happened that day. And funny enough, when it was happening, there were no police, there were no people to, stop the clash between the Hausa people and the Igbo people who are doing businesses there. And this happen every day. They get away with it. When you go to Kano, the same thing. You saw what happened. They bombed a school and so many children died. Nothing happened. So many people lost their lives that day. Now, when you ask yourself this question, who owns that school? Is it an Hausa man that owns the school? The answer is no. It's not an Hausa man that owns that school. Who owns the school? It's an Igbo man. And this happen every day. Every day. This is why we are shouting that Nigeria is not for you. For some of you that is shouting one Nigeria, it's never for you and it can never be for you. Oil and water can never mix together. So if you witness what happened, or if you've come across with that news of that incident, I will share a link here for you to just come, use 2 minutes and talk to us. We are not going to stay long on today's program. I just come on here for us to just talk about all of those things that's happening to our people, particularly our people who own businesses in the north, who owns businesses in Lagos, and some of the things that's happening. That is why we are on air tonight, to talk about all of those things. Now, if you check on the comment section, you will see a link that I shared. If you would want to come on here, just click on that link, come here, just use 2 minutes and talk about what happened on the 18th of this month at Dede Market. If maybe you are one of the people that own businesses there in Dede, you can still come here and tell us what really happened. There's a link I shared there. Jump on the link and I will bring you on. But if we don't have anybody to contribute, then I will have to stop the program, because we just come here to talk about all these things that's happening, the ill treatment to our people. And what do our leaders do? They do nothing. They're clamoring for Igbo presidency, of which I believe it can never get to them. Instead of them to put hands together and fight to make sure that we go our separate way, and they are there talking about Igbo presidency. So click on the link, come on here, let's talk a little bit before we go off, because we've been on air for 44 minutes now. I know some of you join us midway, but you can have a playback of this program immediately we stop the program. But if we don't have anybody to join us, or maybe to tell us if they have seen the news, or maybe you witness what happened at Dede Market in Abuja, then we'll stop the program. Probably tomorrow we'll still come on here to talk about the issues affecting us in Biafra land, issues affecting our brothers who are doing businesses outside Biafra land, and issues affecting us as individuals. My name still remains Mazi Udo Chuku, and I am one of the representatives here on Voice of Biafrans on YouTube and on our Facebook page. I thank all of you for listening. If we don't have any caller today, probably tomorrow we'll be able to pick one or maybe two persons and have them contribute on the program. Remember, next week, 26th of this month, our leader Mazina Kano will continue his trial at Federal High Court Abuja. Then on 30th of this month, we'll be remembering our fallen heroes, people who fought for us, people who died to make sure that you and I live, people who defend our women, people who fought for our mothers. We'll be remembering them 30th of this month. Do not forget. But before then, we still come on air. We still let you know what we'll be doing on that day, and some of the things that we will be doing as we remember our fallen heroes. I'm going to stop here, and I will see all of you tomorrow. All here, Biafra. Remain blessed. Stay calm wherever you are. At the end of all of these things that's happening, victory is going to be ours. My name still remains Mazudochukwu. All here, Biafra.